Hey everybody, I'm finishing up stream and settings. Everything's almost good. If you can hear me in the chat, let me know and then we'll get going really quick. Just want to make sure that you can all hear me clear. Thank you all for confirming that you can hear me. I saw Mosh Pit Messiah in there as well. Good to see you again. Let's get this going. I'll give the explanation after the little intro. Hello everyone, my name's Luke, host of the YouTube channel Rocked. Thank you for joining in. Please consider sharing the link to anyone on Discord servers, Reddit, Facebook groups, your friends that have been to this year's Blue Ridge, past Blue Ridges, or just curious on what happened. This is going to be a different type of stream than the one I did 2 years ago. Hope you're all doing well. So, first off, I want to make sure that I acknowledge all the new people that are watching. Normally, Sunday nights are new music nights where we stream a bunch of new music stuff, blah, blah, blah. I admittedly said I was going to be here tonight to stream anyway. I was planning for this, and I'm doing another festival next week. I'm a concert photographer. I do media, interviews, I do a lot of other stuff. This is my second Blue Ridge Rock Fest. I went in 2021 at the previous venue, and I did a live stream for that after discussing everything. I wanted to do a live stream for this because I wanted to get out as much information as possible from what I saw backstage Thursday and Friday. The good, the bad, the extreme, all of that. I want to make sure everything is clear that what I saw. Then I'm going to start sharing some other people's experiences. Mainly TikTok has been a gold mine for Blue Ridge Rock Fest coverage from all of you. I actually left messages on some of the TikToks I saw in favor to saying I'm going to try to play this tonight if that's okay and things like that. I will go through any type of question you have if it's super chat. That's how I see it on the chat right now. We have way more people than I was anticipating right off the bat. So please do share the link. I want as many people to know this is there. As always, the Twitch box doesn't go right there. Let's make sure we get your chat on here. And I'll be sure it's not just going to be me talking. I'm going to be showing a lot of stuff as well. Bam, there's the chat. Thank you all for hanging out. Finally, before we really get going, I have a lot of things pulled up. I have tabs for TikToks. I have the Instagram post from Blue Ridge. I have my photos that I want to share with you. Please remember, to make everyone feel better that was there, I have PetCan. The one good thing about this weekend, I get to see this little boy a day early. For those who are not aware or new to the channel, his name is Pearl, named after Pearl Jam. He is a good boy, and will sometimes overtake the stream by stamping onto my desk. Two things. Number one, say hello to Crash Thompson. Great friend of mine. Hilarious. Crash, you're going to like this stream. Two, my wife, who is modding. She's in the chat, Gretchen. I'm going to be showing some of her stuff as well. Everyone say hello to Gretchen. She's the best. She was there. I might, if you hear me yell for her, that's because I want her opinion on some stuff too. She was there with me through the thick of it. So, that being said. Is that it? Okay. Pearl's happy I'm back. Me, not so much. I want to go over my little experience first, just talking about it, what I saw, and doing that. I'll show that right now to make sure everyone's aware that as for the update of everything, I was not aware that it was closed until everyone else was. I had internal messages coming from people, and I'll explain that later, that expect delays, expect evacuations. We're going to hear by 5 p.m. This message right here, the everything's closed, go home message, we found out at all at the exact same time. With heavy hearts due to this weekend's continued severe weather, we must announce the cancellation of the final days of Blue Ridge Rock Festival. Your safety and well-being are our foremost concerns. We understand the disappointment this brings, and we share immensely in your sadness. Please note that this decision was made with the utmost consideration for everyone involved, and our focus now is on supporting those of your site still on site. We work diligently to provide refunds details, and we'll share that information early this week when business reopens. Keep that in mind. In the meantime, we encourage you to stay safe and take care of each other. Excuse me. This has been an agonizing turn of events for what was to be a special weekend. There will be much more that we'll unveil over the next few days. Rest assured, we will take care of you despite these difficult circumstances. Thank you for everything. With heartfelt gratitude, Blue Ridge Rock Festival. So. I would also like to point out Trevor, who we will be seeing later, another photographer friend of mine. We got a decent amount to get into. So, Thursday was the first day, but that's not what we're going to open up with, because the real shenanigans started Wednesday. On Wednesday was when 93% of the thousands of campers rolled in. I'm not talking just a few campers either, like 93% of how many campers? What, 500? Oh, thousands. There was a lot for campers with standard tents, like out wilderness tents, and a car lot, so that way you can have your tents right by your car. There was another lot for the big fancy RVs, think glamping, things like that. People drove long distances. We saw someone in the chat already say they drove from Florida. Gretchen and I met a nice couple, they drove from Alabama. There were people driving from all over for something like this. 40,000 attendees is not an exaggeration. A lot of them were campers, and 93% of campers showed up on Wednesday. Tuesday, the longer campers, they got in no problem. But when 93% of campers showed up, Gretchen and I already saw the problems. I'm going to show TikToks, I'm going to show feeds and things like that. I just want to get as much info as this out right now. I'm not kidding when I say those campers in those lines stayed at least 5 hours in their cars in line in scorching heat and humidity with no end in sight. It was late at night for a lot of them that got into line and finally got to their spot. The staff had to work overnight. Blue Ridge staff, parking security, before the festival even began, just to get them in their spot. We were in line Wednesday 6.5 hours with an RV. Honestly, that's about right. Waited in line for 5 hours on Thursday to drive 10 minutes to my house. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, 5 hours and 6.5 hours, those are averages. I'm not kidding when I say those numbers are awful, but they're not anomalies. No. I don't have the photo pulled up right now. There was overhead shots on Blue Ridge and other sites and socials showing the lines of RVs and cars with campers trying to get in. It was bad. So, from New Mexico, goodness. Nope. I don't even know what I'd do at that point. Anyway, 12 hours Wednesday night. I believe it. My friends were in the car for 10 hours. Yeah, that's right. So, I want to go back. Wednesday, people were finally getting in. And Thursday was the day when everything's supposed to open up. Let me pull up this beautiful lineup. Get everyone in the mood. Boom. I'll blow that up a little bit too. So, for those who are not aware again, I'm a concert photographer. I also do media stuff. I'm asked by publicists to cover media and interview and do stuff for the channel here at Rocked. Many other things. People came from New Zealand, Canada, Australia. Yeah, I saw a few from Canada. I did not know New Zealand and Australia. So Thursday was supposed to open up right around noon. My wife and I were given special permission because we, first of all, had it very easy compared to all of you. My wife and I had staff parking. So we parked with the vendors. I had 2 backpacks worth of gear with me. My wife had 1. Mostly camera equipment, interview equipment, that's it. And we walked. And this was the day that we walked into the main entrance with all the ticket holders. We had a separate line for staff and working so they didn't have to check our bags and stuff. But we were given that. We hiked up the hill to media, and that's where we set up camp. I'll show you a little bit, and this map does not do justice, keep in mind, because, where are you going? There's no hills in here, and you're going to see the hills later. And when I say the hills, you'll understand what I mean later on. This is a map of Blue Ridge Rockfest 2023's Virginia International Raceway. Main entrance. Can you see my cursor? I'm going to find out if you can see my cursor. I should be able to make it that way. See my cursor right here with the main entrance? No? Oh, well, imagine. Right here where the bear is. The big bear mouth. Yeah, you see main entrance right there? Everybody goes in there. At least on the first day. Down here is the West Camp entrance. That's where one of the camp entrances were. And the Monster Energy stage. Or famous monsters. See, I'm getting Monster Energy mixed up. Smart Punk Record stage. The other side stage. Which was really high up there. Like, this is one of the tallest stages I have ever seen. And I don't even feel like I'm short. I'm 5'11", barefoot. And even I was, like, shooting up at people's noses with my camera. Anyway. Thursday was rough. They did take the hill out, though. Yeah, the main hill, yes. There were still hillsides. And what I want to talk about this for this year. The two side-by-side stages, Monster Energy and ZYN. All this from the ADA area, the big shrubbery with all the trees, the little huts and houses for ADA and stuff. That's one giant hill. Right around Friday afternoon, this was nothing but thousands of people that no one could get through. And Thursday was getting like that too. Thursday was scorching heat. Mid-90s. Humidity made it feel like it was worse. Up until about 5 p.m., the medic tent was filled. It was rough. And as people really started dropping, I was aching already. A little bit of dust in the lungs. Stuff like that. So, I have to say a few things about this, though. And this is where I want to talk about the good, the bad, and the extreme. One, they remapped Blue Ridge's layout right here that you see. Much better than the previous year, from what I understand it. Much better than 2021. The food vendors and lineups were much more organized, so that way there's not like a circle of lines. There was food options everywhere. The bad news? Food prices were astronomical. The guarantee of no price gouging on foods did not come to fruition. I'll get to that later too. This is where I want to talk about the good. We at media, some of the staff working with some of that, were very taken care of by one person named Jay. I won't say the last name because I don't want people looking it up. That's weird. Jay was working with media and the heads of Blue Ridge Rock Fest to make it better run and help navigate some of the behind the scenes stuff. Without him, this would have been 1,000 times worse for people like me. So, I say that because there were many employees, not at the top level, the high level of the Blue Ridge management. There were so many people from mid-level down that worked way too hard for this to fail like it did. They put in so much effort. I'm talking months. Oh, they made people pay for water. Oh yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that later. Oh, and Crash, you just wait till I show you the food prices. I got photos. How far was the walk? Gretchen, if you're in the chat, let us know an estimate of how far you thought the walk was. I want to say from our parking lot to media, the top area between the hill, and right in the dead center where you see EE, emergency exit, that's the exit we were able to take a side route to the media tent. I have to say, so many people worked so hard to make this a better experience this year. There were signs everywhere. There was a map layout. There was more, honestly, things. It wasn't nearly as bad as 2021. No, it was not. Definitely not half as bad. So, yes, ADA on a hill. I'll get to that later. So, the reason I'm saying all these people worked so hard for it to fail the way it did, because around 5 o'clock, it was brutal heat. 5:30-ish, when Coheed was about to play, Coheed and Cambria, it started raining. My wife and my friends, Trevor and Kelly, who were also in there, Yeah, there you go, Crash. They looks like, oh, it's starting to rain. Me, drenched into my own sweat for the last 6 hours, went, oh, thank God. I wouldn't stand it out in the rain. It was a few drops. And I was like, not much. Boy, did I jinx it. 10 minutes go by. It's really coming down. Lightning everywhere. I'm not talking in the distance where you hear the thunder, or you see the lightning, few seconds of the thunder. It was in sync and close. Then it was pouring. I'm not kidding when I say I've lived through Florida hurricanes. This was the most intense weather I've seen at a festival. We had to get out. It was not safe. Jay informed us that we got to get out of here. We started seeing the messages pop up. So we packed our stuff up just in case. We were waiting for the all clear. We started heading out through the emergency exit that we were at. Because again, we didn't have to take the main exit like tens of thousands of people did. We waited a little bit and we took some shelter. This is where I'm going to start playing some stuff for you. Gotta pull the right one up. I'll show you that too later. That was on the way out. It's concerning, but at the same time, it's also, I don't know how else to describe it without showing. So, that's not it. They say mine is for a good amount. This was on the emergency exit as we were trying to get to leave behind the scenes. There's a camping lot. What you see in the distance is the famous monster stage, which was getting wrecked. It was bad. The video clip here does not do it justice. That's supposed to be a flat hanging down sign in the distance, that blue thing. The wind was that sun was already tearing it up. This was day one. So, it was getting chaotic at this point. I don't know how else to describe it besides that. So, if you don't think that's bad enough, tens of thousands of people still going up, trying to get out. And I'll get to that point. Let me show you a little bit more of the rain. Here you go. You see that? I don't know how else to describe this. Day one was Thursday. Sorry, it looks like there's a little drop in connection. Can you guys still hear and see me? Thank you. Okay, my wife said I'm good. Okay, I got a little drop connection thing. My wife, my friends, and I, we took refuge in one of those shelters, the vendors that they left behind, like an actual trailer building. Load and clear. Okay, refresh if you don't see me. The rain was that bad, and it was that instant. Less than 30 minutes, total flash flood over 30-mile-per-hour winds, and then hail. To which my friend Trevor said, I think I just felt hail. And then about a minute later, we all felt hail. We waited, I want to say, at least 30 minutes under that shelter. That little metal railing. Yeah. Oh, I had the bad data because I was covered in sweat. It was gross. It was that bad. And here's a picture of us. All smiles under that little metal awning. It was rough. It was rough. Now I want to show you how we got out. This is the wasteland of Blue Ridge Rock Fest at the end of Thursday. Again, we walked out not through the main way. We were allowed to go through staff and vendor, all that. These are the main stages. That red, dooming, apocalyptic light is the emergency sign that says, severe weather, you need to evacuate, get out of here. It's not safe, blah, blah, blah. Trash on the ground, everyone evacuated. We're walking around. I'll get a closer shot of it for you. Severe weather approaching. Let us know when it approaches. Thanks. So yeah, it's pretty bad. And I'll get to a few points about this. My wife, my two friends, we got out of the grounds by having to climb under the built railing of the main stages to get to the parking lot. It was at any way necessary at that point. As we walked out, there was the Rockstar VIP lounge. I guess that's the way to say it, by one of the main stages. That's only for the top tier VIPs. That was abandoned also. And we called it BRRF. This is a nice little lounge to get into the shade. I don't know how else to describe this. Shade is the biggest luxury. It's not water, which you think it would be. It's shade at this festival. So, some of the video clips I have, I'm going to show a lot more of you guys as well. Thursday, they had to get everyone out of there. It was that bad. There were people hiding in porta potties and under stages to protect themselves. And those are the people that couldn't escape in time, including staff, vendors, ADA, you name it. It was while my wife and friends and I were trying to leave, we saw a small group of people running up the hill, laughing, carrying tons of food. They pretty much stole it from the abandoned vendors and food vendors. And they offered us some. I'm like, no, we're good. Vendors had to abandon their stalls and their merch. Oh, they got destroyed. There's a clothing brand called the Pretty Cult. I think it's women's fashion. They had so much destroyed. It was bad. Crash, you and your snark. So many vendors lost so much, and there was some looting that was going on apparently. And I do not have all the details on that. I'm only going to confirm what I know. Gretchen and I were hearing wild rumors as of today. And we were trying to find any type of footage or photos of it that we are not going to spread rumors on. The looting was that bad. But what was worse is that they put over tens of thousands of people into the street with no way to take shelter. It was a good quarter-mile walk, probably half-mile walk, from that entrance you see, that main entrance, all the way to the shuttle pickup and drop. Maybe not that far, quarter mile. So a quarter mile of well over 30,000 people waiting for these shuttles to pick them up and take them to their car. The problem, one, the shuttles can't get that many people out fast enough. Two, not all the shuttles can drive that well through the rain. Three, where are these people supposed to find shelter in the meantime? Tens of thousands of people stranded on the road, not able to go anywhere. I'm going to play one part of a TikTok that was not Thursday, but it gives you an idea of just how bad it can get.
I've never seen anything in my fucking life like this.
Add more people, and then hail and rain, and get rid of those tents on the sides, and you have what happened on Thursday. And there's a lot of footage. There's a TikTok that's been viral of how bad the winds were and how bad the rain was. Gretchen, if you know what I'm talking about, you can send it to me. I'll show it. Don't worry about it if you can. I know you're busy. It was that bad. And I'm glad more people were not hurt. And I want to say this. I paused this TikTok specifically because there was an issue where some people saw the cars trying to leave. And there was like, ugh, you're a bunch of sissies. They did not say sissies. Trying to leave, you don't want to stick it out, that type of thing. There were some trash people at the festival. People that would loot on the first day. People like that. The amount of people that were great, though, and trying to help each other way outnumbered the trash. So, overall, the attendance at Blue Ridge, don't worry about it, Gretchen. The attendance of good people to trash and people trying to be a community and be together way outnumbered the trash. So that is one good thing I can also say. Lost from my group, just stuck in the VIP tent covering, but they wouldn't let us into shelter for 40 people. Bum rushed yeah. VIP, the biggest luxury at this festival was shade for VIP and Rockstar VIP. Oh, you got sunburns if you only had a regular ticket. So, up 1.5 miles away from their campsites. The walk to campsites was farther, and you could not walk to your car if you were a regular ticket holder. You had to get the shuttle because the actual car lot was way far away. So many people from the middle of Blue Ridge management down spent months trying to make this the best they could. And I'm not talking just like project management. I'm talking the laborers, the people that set up stages, set up all the signage, set up all the stalls, made sure the parking lots were in some type of good condition, made sure catering and all the other things were good, and it just all flushed down the drain after extreme weather and what we found out some other issues from. Friday came. Friday might have been the most successful day in Blue Ridge Rockfest history. Because on Friday, things worked. It was the disgusting heat again. Some stages were not working well, but it worked. And I can't stress enough, I just got a message from a friend of mine. I can't stress enough. So many people work so hard for this to just get flushed down the drain. And I'm not going to spread rumors about all this stuff. I want to show you what I made for Friday. This is the good part of Friday that I can stress. Let me show you mine. Dun, 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 dun. Go over here. It's easier to just show you the little footage. Would you just play? I swear, TikTok on desktop is just hot garbage. Refresh.
Blue Ridge Rockfest 2023, Day 2. We checked out Crowd the Empire. We talked to Conquer Divide and back. They told us a terrible pickup line. Then we checked out Knocked Loose. At this point, the crowd was so massive, we were having trouble getting around.
Main stage. That was not the end of the day. That was not even the stage Slipknot played on.
Express enough how big the crowds were getting throughout the day. Knocked Loose was great.
That's kind of my attempt at
it
panoramic
was
video.
So intense just looking at all these people. They said there'd be no
So,
prize guys who get Blue Ridge Rockfest,
I want to give the good and bad.
but there absolutely was.
I want to be honest.
Knocked Loose was great.
First of all,
and
check
man,
out all the
man,
people.
It was
Take
so
that all in.
intense just looking at all these people. They said
Again, that was not the full crowd. There were other people watching other bands at that time. Not even, still probably many thousands to go. So, I'll talk about this now just because it's in timeline. This is something that many people did not have control over. Many of the great people that I already talked about. I talked about the guy named Jay, who helped run things. I talked about him in the beginning. He made things so much easier for people like me. I talked about staff who worked their butts off. Again, all the staff and security that I met, 99% of them were nice. Were really good. So, here's what's going on. I am not a fan of price gouging for food, and I know this is more on the vendor side of it, but we were told that was going to be limited this year. Well, here, first I'll show you this.
there'd be no price gouging at Blue Ridge Rockfest, but there absolutely was. These small smoothies were $10 a piece, and they weren't even that good.
Yes, we did pay $10 for those 8-ounce cups of strawberry, blueberry, something smoothie. That was the healthiest option. I was not eating food at that point from after 2 days of intense heat. If I would have eaten like pizza or a burger, I would have thrown up. Hey, buddy. Pearl? You okay, bud? Just a moment. I'm going to hold my cat while I do this. So, yeah, it's not big. $10 for a cup. So $20 total. Here, have a Pearl. Walk around, buddy. You haven't been on my desk in a little bit. This is where I show stuff that, again, I'm not trying to spread rumors. I want people to know the truth, though, of facts. The good, the bad, the extreme, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, my wife just said it too. Don't spread misinformation, just say what you know. This is what some of the stuff was. This is first. Where'd you go? Dropbox. I know you're on here. I got to get the main one. There we go. The first one. Crash, this is what I showed you. Not what I'm a fan of. Now, this is the main bars and that serve water, Powerade, Monster, and alcohol. Take a minute, take the prices in. Somebody asked. They didn't charge for water, did they? They had water stations on site, but a lot of people said they didn't feel they were enough. And there were no water stations, or not enough, at parking or the long hours wait in parking and things like that. This is $4 for water, $4 for Coke for a soda, $6 for Powerade. My wife and I bought $12 worth of Powerade. You might be thinking, wow, that's a lot of Powerade. No, that's just 2 of the regular 20-ounce bottles. Boy, did I drink that fast on Friday. So, we then go from there. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I want to show you a little bit more. This is where, make what arguments about alcohol and stuff. I don't drink, but I know that's going to be expensive at any venue. This is where it gets a little bit more awkward. Come on, I double-clicked on you. Oh, here we go. You know, sometimes you try to click on things and it's just there. Go. Why was it not popping up? Would you like a cheese quesadilla for $13, or would you like to add an extra $3 for some chicken? Plus tax. If I spend $16 on a quesadilla, it better be the size of a car. Anyway, we then go over here. Pizza, spaghetti, with meatballs, $21. Spaghetti and meatballs with $21 is pretty high up there. Gluten-free Cali crust, $24. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, it's a full pizza, right? Might be smaller than you think. Baklava, $14. There's a Simpsons joke about that. I won't quote it, though. I'm not the Mr. Simpsons aficionado. Filet steak, $25. Having steak at a festival just seems so interesting to me, but whatever. Chicken teriyaki, $20. I'm sure it was great. I hope it was great. Point is, I wanted to prove points. On Friday, it kept going.
It was a lot of fun. First time seeing them live. There were some pretty uncool people at the rail for Electric Callboy, but this security guard was awesome, and so was this little Electric Callboy fan. He was having the time of his life.
So, got to see Electric Callboy. That was fun. This is where I want to play a little bit of what someone said for Electric Callboy, and that was there, and when it talks about that certain thing on Friday. And I'm using their wording and language because this has been confirmed by other people as well. Again, I'm not trying to spread rumors. I'm trying to get as much information to you as possible. I'm going to let this be one of the TikToks that I play for a solid minute or so.
Where the take comes in. So I started doing some digging when I got home, going into different Discord groups, Facebook message groups, all this different stuff, wanting to see what other fans like you and I had experienced, but also I really wanted to hear what bands had said, who had been strangely silent through all this, even though we had heard a couple things, like Evanescence. No one really knew why. They just knew that Amy Lee was seen leaving the venue in tears. So here in this Discord, we actually have Tank the Tech, who is Electric Callboy's stage manager. Feel free to pause this video to read other distressful stories from people that are in this chat, but I'm just going to read what Tank said here because I think that that's a pretty good source. No stagehands, no water, barely any food. AC didn't work in dressing rooms, production crew had no idea what was going on. There was one forklift and one flatbed for every band and one stage for loading. Trust me, backstage wasn't any better than the crowd. Our load-in was 6 hours, load-out was 5. Now, if you've never been a stagehand or in a band, that's fucking ridiculous.
I'll stop it right there. You get the point. That's rough. Tank the Tech has a YouTube channel as well. He streams on Twitch. Great channel. Great insight on stuff, information. Electric Callboy was a lot of fun. He was on that tall stage I told you about. My wife and I did notice that they were at least 15 minutes late to start, and we didn't know why. It got to the point where we were curious why it was taking so long. I didn't know that load-in and load-out times for the bands getting in, whether tour buses or crew vans, whatever they might be, were taking so long. And these stages were not on flat ground. You know? Just a second. The map I sent you, like that I showed earlier, was not flat by any means. It was terrain. And getting all those golf carts and forklifts and vans and stages and crew around, a lot of work. So loadout for all that was really intense. I can't imagine having a 6 hour or 5 hour. I can't imagine having a 2 hour load in unless it's the Metallica setup and they're just trying to set up days before. And yes, he said Electric Callboys tour guide. That's the stage I was talking about. I don't know if it was like that for every other stage. I don't know like it was that for every other tour. I can't speak to that. Again, I'm not trying to spread rumors. All I know is there was a lot of frustration from a lot of people trying to make things work. And for whatever reason it is, things keep falling through the cracks. I can't speak to everything, though. That's when my wife sprinted down to shoot Sleep Token because I told her it's going to be great. I saw them last year.
So just
barely got it. Let me go back to mine.
This security guard was awesome, and so was this little electric.
That little guy was nice. I'm glad he liked it. Sleep Token played their largest North American concert ever at the festival. They had backup singers on stage with them. I'd never seen that before. Very happy I got to be a part of that. And I'll show you my photos later.
And then Slipknot closed out tonight.
Okay. That's a better look at the Slipknot crowd. People stayed. Yeah, it was that many. This was the smallest stage that Slipknot has played on quite some time, just because it was a festival stage. You know, they had to make sure what they did, and Slipknot kind of demands a better stage. Slipknot made it work. It was so cool to see all that. I can't believe that Saturday did, with all the heat, the extreme weather they already had the last few days, they got Saturday to go off and finish and close the way they wanted. To an extent. Now, everyone left. They said it took a long time for people to get home, or get back to their cars, I should say home. To camping, to their cars, to their hotels, whatever it might be. And yeah, I can't speak to everyone else's experience.
Entire fest and last one.
But that was probably the most successful day in Blue Ridge Rock Fest history. Friday was, excuse me, not Saturday. It was on Saturday. We were getting ready. I was woken up by my wife at the hotel. There was that she said, "Hey, the weather's not looking good again. We're trying to keep up with updates. If you want to start getting ready, just do it slow." I was thankful for that. Yeah, we got the word. I think we were starting to get ready around noon and 1. We started slowly putting our stuff together because it was bad. It was like slightly raining where we were, but we were getting word that it was really coming down again on Saturday. We got the official word that it was canceled for the rest of the day. And then a few hours after that, we heard, no more. We can't do this anymore. Those are all the facts that I know. I'm trying to tell you guys everything now, factually, as much as I can for what I know. Now, this is where some of the other TikToks again, I want to give everyone their voice. And I'll do some photos right now too. Let's have some positivity before we go through some of the other issues that we know are factual and are just complaints. I'm not about spreading rumors on this stuff, okay? Gretchen already heard some weird ones, and I'm not giving any credence to that. And I'm not playing all the TikToks. There's way too many. But I got some selected ones. Right, Pearl? Yeah. First off, I want to show you my photos. Indulge me. Saw Highly Suspect. That was the last band I shot on Thursday. It's Terrible Johnny. I interviewed the brothers years ago. I didn't get many photos of them. We were running out of time. Do I factually recall the weather situation? Oh, yeah. Oh, it was there. That's something everyone can recall. Once you start getting pelted in the face with hail, and then the next day sweating like you're in a soup, yeah, you remember that. We were about 40 minutes away in our hotel. That's what a lot of people did. Also, I'll go a little faster. Ghost Inside. Now, this is what I want to point out. Loved the Ghost Inside. They sounded great. Gretchen was really into it, too. She wasn't really sure about them. She didn't know about them. Vince Neil played before the Ghost Inside on the the stage right next to him because they go back and forth for the main stages. Vince Neil went 13 minutes over time on his set. What does that mean for festivals? It has to come from somewhere. So these gentlemen from the Ghost Inside had their set cut short because Vince Neil wanted to keep going with the Motley Crue hits and then give an introduction for his bandmates. I'd have lost my mind. Gretchen does photography too, yes. I don't mind saying this because I read the dirt. Vince Neil, yes, his solo stuff with Motley Crue, would have probably burned something to the ground if someone before him went 13 minutes over. Just my thoughts. Ghost Inside were great, though. I also saw this band for the first time. Got the same mannerisms as his father, and they sounded great. They had a lot of fun. This was fun to see. I'm glad I got to see Vended live. That was on one of the famous Monster stage, down the hill. A little bit easier to go with. Yes, Vince is a party pooper. Yes, that's fine. You can say that all you want. I've said worse. Perfect band to have at a festival. This was so much fun to see Psycho Stick live. I'm going all through the positive now before we go to the TikToks and some of the other stuff. Hearing I Can Only Count to 4 and the beer song and the Grab the Sombrero where there was a circle pit and Sub-Zero was in there and Lord Farquaad and just people dressing up. It was great. What I needed. That's how you have a great band for a first day. Set the tone for people to have fun. Like I said before, the lineup for Blue Ridge Rock Fest, whether you love or hate the bands, impressive lineup. Also, my first time seeing Stitched Up Heart. Mixie does great. Mixie had one of the best lines of the whole day. It was earlier in the day, she said, "Y'all hot out there? Yeah, well try wearing all this crap." She's right. Then again, hopefully she got to change right after and go into shade, hopefully. She was fun. I only shot 5 bands. I did interview 2. I talked with Caskets. They played a lot of songs. I couldn't stay for the whole Psycho Stick set. Blech, that was hard to say. I'm going to do a full write-up. I'm going to post this main post with this YouTube video later. Conquer Divide were a lot of fun. I'll play this for you. Good. I want to talk about the good first. Come on.
I'm Janelle.
I'm Kia.
And we're from Conquer Divide.
Are you from Mississippi? Because you're the only Mrs. Pisses out sippy.
Today is September 8th, the first time we've ever played Blue Ridge, but it's also our
They were really
album
nice.
Release day, Slow Burn.
Their new album just came out on the same day they were performing.
Our friends and Catch Your Breath are
Cool
playing
for them.
right now. Yeah, go listen to them. They're from my hometown too. And before you go listen to them, you gotta go stream and download Slow Burn. I repeat, Slow Burn by...
Nice little plug for them. Caskets was amazing. Yeah. And yes, I know about the VIP stuff. I'll talk about that too. Unsanitary. Yeah. Show you my Slipknot photos quickly. Look at that king of shenanigans right there. One time I caught a fish this big. Rare to get photos that close of Clown and Tortilla Man because they didn't have on the top risers. Pretty cool. See him that close. V-Man. Love his bass. Also rare to get a clear shot of Jay. Gretchen got an amazing shot of Jay, one of the best drummers in metal. Hey! Mick. Jim Root. Mick again. You see Sid in the back. Big ol' smile. I want to get to the one. Where are you? That robotic face that Sid used to wear, it really does sync up with the lyrics of the songs that Corey sings. They really made it work great for that. I'm happy with what I got. Got shots of Tortilla Man this time, too. That's difficult. Also want to show you Sleep Token. These Sleep Token photos are better than the ones I had last year by a long shot. Sounded great. A lot of fun. Mr. Vessel did quite a good job with the setup and making sure this was a good performance. Very animated too. Won't just stand there and like a lump and do nothing. I didn't get a good shot of the background singers, unfortunately. Smog and smoke and dust. Things happen. It was pretty fun. So, Knocked Loose was massive. I'll just go through some of these. From the back, I want to say, oh, that's not even from the very far back either. You see how many people, though, for Knocked Loose? That was around 5 p.m.-ish. Crowd was massive. Yeah, and it kept getting bigger. Of Mice and Men. There's Electric Callboy. A lot of fun. There's Crown the Empire. Someone crowd surfed with a raft. Singer thought it was pretty funny. So, most of my photos. I'll post them all tomorrow with all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. So here's where we get to. Let me zoom out a little bit. What you see right here is the lineup of bands that actually performed at Blue Ridge. Someone made this, put it online. Yeah, that's rough. What really hurts about it is you think about how many bands could have been there, and then you see the bands that did get to play there and under what circumstances. So that's about the amount the bands played. I think that's all I got for here. So now, I wanted to give a voice to all of you, and I see the super chats coming in. I will go over all the super chats. No problem. Dun, 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 dun. Let me actually pull those up now. Bam. Bam. Okay. There are a lot of TikToks out there showing footage. Don't just go by what rumors on Reddit or Facebook posts. Go for the footage that you can see and show. Don't spread rumors about all the stuff you don't know. Again, Gretchen and I heard some weird ones. I'm not going to do stuff like that. So, da-da. Here we go. X out of this one. We already watched it, or most of it. The last thing before we go to TikTok. Prices. And the reason I want to show this, I want people to realize how much they invested into all this. We talked to that nice couple in the Rockstar VIP that drove from Alabama in their RV. Say they got it at price level 1. That's fine. They still paid $14.50 for a ticket. 4-day Rockstar. General admission ticket price for 4-day Rockstar. $1,450 a ticket, 2 tickets. That's not including everything else they needed to buy. 1-day passes, 3-day passes, club experiences, artist meet and greets. There was a lot. People invested a lot of money. And yeah, it hurts. I feel the most for the people that drove in from wherever they drove in from. Florida, Alabama, Texas. Someone said New Mexico. Ugh. Drove from New Mexico. That is such a bitter drive back. Think about that. So, let's go here. Sorry, I crashed. Go here. There's my lovely wife. Give her a like. Follow Go Gretchen on Twitter, everybody. She's lovely. She really does a great job. Go to my liked ones. We're going to have some other people give their thoughts. I want people to actually get their voices out because I said that's what I was going to do. Again, this way I'm showing footage. I'm not about spreading rumors.
First day we got to Blue Ridge Rock Fest, the parking lot was huge and completely filled. We almost didn't get a spot.
The lots
we were
were
so
massive
excited
too.
Because we didn't know what was to come.
And I like the time lapse of the
This was the line we
walk.
waited in to get to a shuttle bus to be taken to the venue. 90 degrees outside, no water stations, barely any shade, and over 2 hours of waiting.
That is insane. I'm going to pause it right there. I like the time lapse. I like that they did that. No shade. Hours of waiting just to get on a shuttle to get in to the lot or to the gates. Yeah, that's intense. That's intense. I don't know if I could have done it. With that heat, the heat was so bad, guys. This does not do justice just how hot it was. And I say this, and I'm going to pause it right now. I had it easy. I had water. I had drinks. I had shade. I am aware I had it way easier than most.
Passed out due to heat and lack of water.
I almost passed out with heat, with water. Photos.
On the shuttle bus, our timer said we were in line for 2 hours and 5 minutes before getting on the bus. Finally getting to the venue.
Those are the grounds. South Dakota,
First set
brutal.
we saw, woe is me. They stopped halfway through because of the wind, and we waited for like 30 minutes to hear them play 2 more songs. Second set we saw, Sleep Token. Crowd was huge and it was hot.
I don't know why I came back to here, but here's Sleep Token. It's more photos. I just wanted to show the actual footage. You know what I should have done? We waited in line about 15 minutes before a severe thunderstorm came through. So this is the start of day 3. Come on. Day 3. It was already ready before it started.
About 15 minutes before a severe thunderstorm came through. So we sheltered in place on the bus, which had several leaks.
That's pretty bad.
You know what I should have done?
Here, come in on this leaky bus. And again, I have the super chat saved, so I'll get to them all. And yes, they were all school buses.
They told us to get off the bus and back in line for the shuttle.
Get off the bus and get back in line for the shuttle, which is the bus.
Waited for hours in line with no updates until they finally canceled the show due to weather when the weather was getting better. The parking lot was muddy, cars were getting stuck, almost no security directing traffic. Instead, concert goers stepped up and directed cars and helped get others unstuck.
I want to point that out. I said earlier, the amount of great people willing to help out and do things for others in these extreme situations greatly outnumbered the trash people who were obnoxious. It was noticeable that vast majority at this festival were good people, tried to just have a good time, and were trying to help others. I do not want to hear crap about how, it was just a garbage festival in the South. No, it wasn't. It was Southern Virginia. Everyone was from everywhere else, too. Like 99% were from Virginia. And 3, most people were willing to help out way after the festival as well. So a shuttle is a bus? Yeah, they were school buses. And those lots got really muddy.
Pictures from waiting in line for hours.
That's adorable. The parking lots got that muddy because, again, the rain was that bad. It's not fair. I'll point blame when I have things to say, but I'm not going to say, it could have been that bad. Let's put down wood chips. No, it was really that torrential downpour of how bad it was on Thursday and getting on Saturday. So I get it. I'll just show the photos because that was really good narration. The fact that they did all that and filmed the whole ride, the walk in, good for them. Here. Drove 10 hours, we turned away. We drove 3. And there's Tank the Text comment. So, your neighbors were the best. Good, I'm glad. Again, I've heard so many good stories about people helping others. That's been the consensus. So, followed that one for Honey Brit. This is something I wasn't crazy about. This is where the unfortunate trash did come in. I know all those people got to know each other over 4 hours. That's fine. I say, oh, come on, that's not cool. You put me on any vehicle for 4 hours and not moving, you better believe I'm going to start to lose my mind. I'll show a little bit more of this one. This was Friday. Again, going in.
I've never seen
So many people already left.
fucking life like that.
People trying to get in and out. Waiting around. Wanting to know information. That overcast was not looking great.
Show me your butthole. Show me.
The Show Me the Butthole camp is a camp that comes to several festivals. I'm pretty sure that I can't describe them more than what their sign says. You see people with like walking boots and ADA. How could they get in if it's that muddy and
I'm
bad?
gonna help. What is happening?
Anyway.
Wow. I'm glad I'm
This is not in the festival. It's not even close. I'll get to all super chats again. Just gotta give it some time. Let's go next.
Welcome to the shit show.
5 hours. Average. That's all water, by the way. One good thing I will say about Blue Ridge, they handed out a lot of free water that you didn't have to go buy at the bar. They handed out like the Walmart, Sam's Club, whatever it is, like just the generic 16-ounce bottles of thin plastic water. 5 pallets worth, if I'm mistaken. Probably more. They did their best. The heat was that bad and it still wasn't enough. And I can't even say it's their fault, the weather, and they were trying to navigate with it all. It was that bad, though. This is some of the damage that you'll see for tents. It gets cruel and brutal seeing how much stuff was destroyed. That's from the night one, Thursday night. Absolute destruction. And that t-shirt right there. Yeah. Hail damage, tents before and after, more damage, whatever that is. Ugh. I don't know what's going on there. A lot of dead phones. And I want to point out, too, there was a missing person report come Thursday, Friday. From what I understand, they've been found. So it's because their phone was destroyed. They couldn't get in contact with their partner. If I had that right. Yeah, and the weather was that bad. It really was. And it was that fast. Like, you couldn't, like, prepare for it coming. That's how fast it came in. See? Yeah, I don't know if Apple Care covers all that. I'm not the Apple user. That'd be Gretchen. She would know better. Here's my lovely wife. Yeah, it gets pretty bad. I muted it. I'm going to mute it just for less chance of takedowns. I don't think there will be, though. Again, not going to spread rumors, just showing footage of what I know and talking about what I can. Camp was demolished. He had no choice. Again, like a lot of vendors, like the Pretty Cult and many others, so much of their just product, their merch, whatever you want to call it, destroyed. Not stuff you could just throw in a washing machine. No, I'm talking obliterated. There's the lightning. The lightning did not stop. And I had similar video footage of mine, too, as we were exiting. with some of the staff and security. That's my wife and I walking underneath to get out, along with some other people. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. This is the camping lot. This is what I wanted to show. I'll have to mute it because of the music. So this is like the regular lot for campers, not the RV glamping stuff. You have your car, and then you have space behind you for your lines to put your tent. And this is what a lot of people, like, this is an experience for a lot of people. A lot of people really like this because it's a community thing. And then it went downhill. Camp was devastated. Ugh, oh, goodness. I've seen all, oh my gosh, okay. That's almost Walking Dead levels of destruction. When I do not say how hard I have it, I'm trying to give a voice for people that really did have it that hard. Because I already talked about a lot of the good things and how hard people worked to make this happen. Yeah. Tent flipped and filled with water. Goodness. Yeah, the fact that Gretchen and I didn't have anything destroyed for our gear is a miracle. And also, looks like Left 4 Dead. Scavenged the next day what people left behind. Got to enjoy Friday, then Saturday was canceled. Was my first ever festival. Probably won't ever go to this one again, but open to others. Fair attitude. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would say at that point. I don't know if what happened to all those people on Thursday, I would want to go home. I wouldn't want to risk all that again. And I'll just brave it after how bad the storm was. So, yeah. Blue Ridge Bus Fest. Okay.
It's not easy making a name for yourself.
Yes, they are having a little fun mosh pit between the buses. Because they're not going anywhere. They're just waiting.
It's not easy making a name for yourself.
Half foot of standing water. It was that much water. Yeah. And that's not even... Correct me if I'm wrong, everyone watching. That's not even like 25% of the lot. Of that lot. The other med station didn't help either. That I've heard things about. I did not see about the medic station. All I know was that it was getting full on Thursday. That's all I know. I don't want to spread rumors about stuff I haven't seen or I can't find footage of or things like that. I'll give my opinion on some of the things later, but I'm not going to spread rumors, conjecture. I'm not, because again, there's some weird stuff being thrown out there, and people are already suffering enough as it is. I don't want to get dumped on that. Lost 4 of 5 canopies, 1 tent flip, 2 stabbed, and 1 cut in half. Yeah, and that's what I think too. It's not even so much losing everything, it's just stuff getting destroyed. I don't know how else to really describe it. 30-mile-per-hour winds minimum were going on for a long time. Come on.
Adults hype for buses to get us out.
To get us out. These were not buses just waiting. Those people were standing out the outside wanting to leave. And they had to fill those buses up, take people back, fill buses up, take people back, all night. Orange lot.
Nothing like thousands
a lot of people left buffer. Yeah, I get it too.
For buses to
60
get
miles.
us
Oh, is it
out.
up to 6? Goodness. I believe it. It was worst case scenario. It really was. And again, the bus drivers, the shuttle drivers, there was security, there was staff that worked without sleep through the nights to try to repair to make it better for Friday. And apparently after Friday night and going into Saturday, I don't know the whole situation and I don't want to overspeak on things. Apparently it was rough. All I know is the rain was picking up on Saturday. And we were looking at it too, and then we heard it really is getting that bad at Saturday, the weather again. I can't blame them for calling it for Saturday. When they already saw the writing on the wall, it's like, we can't risk this again. More people are going to get hurt. Everything my neighbor had got ruined. They instantly left. Came from New York. Yeah, New York. And I would leave too. Like, if I drove even 8 hours for an experience like this, and on day 2, I have thousands of dollars of damage, I'm not going to feel like moshing. There's one coming up. I don't know if it's next or the one after, but I do want to point it out. I'll stop this one, but check this out. Here's the big proof. Yep. Yep. Yeah, it was that bad. The only reason I want to stay is the money is sunk into it, and I get that too. I get that too. I can't argue it. Yeah. Again, I see 3 super chats. I'll get to every super chat in a row.
And nothing can go wrong. Oh no, it all went wrong.
1. I do love that sound effect. I know it's very inappropriate to get a chuckle out of something like this, but that sound effect always gets me. 2. That line. If I'm correct, that was day 1. Leaving. All those people waiting for their shuttle. Why no shelter set up? I'll get to that later after the TikToks. That's what I want to get into. But I will. Thank you for the super chat. Again, I will get to every single super chat in a row.
I should get some sleep.
Little blanket and tarp. I haven't watched Family Guy in years, but even I know that's a good use of the audio. Someone just said, looks great compared to Burning Man this year. I'm not saying this is the worst thing that's ever happened festival-wise. I'm just saying, try to focus on what did happen this weekend.
It's a different door.
This is this is one of the big ones. Backstage footage from an artist trailer when storm suddenly hit Blue Ridge Rock Fest. So this is from the trailer from one of the bands. You ready for this? Okay.
Oh my gosh, look! Oh my god, there goes the road cases!
It's a different door.
That's an easy estimate to say there could be over $10,000 worth of gear in that one case alone. And the wind and rain and hail is just pushing it along. Anyone that's worked stagehand or ever had to do load-in knows those things aren't filled with paper and cotton.
It's a different door.
Ugh. I heard Exit 111 was good. I don't know what happened to that one. If I'm correct, I saw a Coheed sticker on it, so it might have been a Coheed gear kit. Was that what it was? Or they're Coheed fans, I don't know. Yeah, that was a Coheed sticker. Yeah, Crewhead's worst nightmare. Absolutely. Because you know why? Guess who gets to go chase after it? You can't just say, oh, it's gone. If Claudio's got a double neck guitar in there, you better believe you're chasing after it. Now, this is the one I was talking about that I knew was coming up. They were trying to make the best of it on Saturday. When things were canceled, the campers were still there. Did you see who did the first slide in the yellow shirt? I'll play it again. Him. Do you see what it says on the back of the shirt? Would you like me to give it to you? It says it right here, too. I highlighted it. I'm sure everyone needs a break, but yeah. And yes, Zoomom, you are correct. There were bands like some of the headliners and other people that had their gear set up on main stages waiting to go were wrecked from that storm. And yes, EMS decided to join in on the fun. That was Saturday when we found out. Either that was Saturday when we found out Saturday was canceled. I don't know if we already found out Sunday was canceled yet at that point. Now, we're getting to the point where we're coming up to something that has a lot of more factual stuff. This is a good one I want to show, though. Come on, TikTok. See all those people? You see all that? You see all that, right? Yeah, that's They were told to seek shelter. Now, well, like, what the heck? Well, they have to leave the parking lot, right? It's not a parking lot. That's where they were told to stay. They had to evacuate the grounds. It's a liability issue. It's a safety issue. You can't stay on our park. You have to seek shelter outside of our festival. There are TikToks of people hiding in porta potties, people hiding under stages. We hid under an awning. We were thankful. Tens of thousands of people with no shelter. In what was a brutal storm. Yeah. 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 Let's let this play. And this was after extreme heat.
Hey, I want to talk to y'all really quickly.
This is the woman that I saw earlier. Virginia Law early reaction to Blue Ridge Rock Fest because she went to the previous year. I'm going to play some of this, and this is where I'll probably stop doing the TikToks because I want people to know, I wanted to, up to this point, as much factual information as I have with footage. So this will be the last TikTok I show. Then I'm going to go through some of my thoughts, then the super chats, and then we'll call it a night.
About Blue Ridge Rock Festival. There's only one way to describe Blue Ridge Rock Festival, and I think this banner sums it up perfectly. And no, not just for 2023 because of the weather. Because when I went in 2022, I stood in this line for 4 hours. This line not only goes from there, it wraps around on that side 3 times. And that year, everybody was like, well, this particular venue is new to them. Like,
correct. This is the second year. This year was the second year they had it at Virginia International.
Knowing that this was this bad, they were only able to cut the wait down from 4 hours to about 2 hours. Y'all know the weather's been a shit show, and Blue Ridge Rock Festival can't help that. But y'all, when you are taking 50,000 people that far away from their cars or any type of shelter, you need to have an evacuation plan in place for those people, and they had nothing. So on Thursday of this year, a bunch of people got hit by hail. If you search on TikTok, there are people that are hiding in porta potties so they don't get bruises. People had to hide under the main stage. People's cars, RVs, and everything got completely destroyed over in the...
I got your super chat. I'll get to it after the TikToks and stuff.
Knocked around canopies. But the stuff on Thursday that bothers me the most are the stories about people who are in ADA compliant areas who were just left to fend for themselves.
This what bothers me the most. Or one of the things that bothers me the most.
Wheelchairs. And this entire venue is hilly. Now Friday seemed
ADA was not easy to access.
Problems, but today was a whole nother story.
And they tried to help them too, but it was not easy.
Entire festival, which I agree was probably in the best interest of everybody because there was a lot of rain moving in.
Yeah, they needed to cancel Thursday.
It was only because of rain.
Now, this is where the conjecture and suggestions and a lot of first-hand reports are coming in. I don't have direct footage of, but I know what I see. One, this is where I get some of the bad. The trash. Thursday was different. They couldn't go to actually pick it up properly. Fine. Trash was getting really bad on Friday, along with the porta potties. Really bad. It was, I want to say, when we were walking to the Smart Punk stage for Electric Callboy, the trash receptacles were overfilling. And there's no way people could get to remove them. Like, the staff could get to empty them. They couldn't have gotten through. There was too many people. You see destroyed tents, destroyed canopies. And this is what a lot of people have been asking about. This is what I don't know all the information of. I'm sure we'll find out one way or another about all this. And I saw the super chat. I'm going to bring that up too. Strike. No showers. No food. The argument is that after Friday night, after working extreme hours to make sure everything's running, that a lot of the staff just said, screw this. Too much of the extreme situation. and they said they wanted to leave. I can't confirm or deny any of that. I just know stuff like this that I saw. There's Reddit for Blue Ridge Rock Fest. There's Facebook groups. There's all this other stuff. That you could see firsthand reports from people saying they were there and doing this. Without footage or photos, I can't confirm anything for you about this because that's a big rumor going around of stuff after Friday night. And I don't want to get into all that. One thing I do agree with her about this, and I'll keep playing this.
Rumors going around on social media.
And I want to play something a little bit different.
Treated so bad, especially the stage crews.
Let me get to. I'll just do it this way.
They posted they were going to do a acoustic pop-up show.
This is what happened on Saturday.
Available to campers who were still on.
The campers that were still there Saturday couldn't leave. Shinedown, Papa Roach, Brantley Gilbert, whoever else, they were already there. I don't know if that's the country artist that was there, but whatever. They decided to do a pop-up acoustic show for the thousands of campers. A lot of people. Whether Blue Ridge asked them to or they did it on their own, I don't know. But they gave a little show for the campers. Like a nice little sing-along.
Because they were not
something.
Buses over to the venue, which also made things very difficult for people to get back to their lockers because they planned to come back the next day. Anyway, Blue Ridge started
pop-up show.
Completely organic pop-up. So my attorney, my leather, this entire everything that happened.
Going to show the footage? No, of course not.
We're already at capacity.
Okay, I'll look it up. Where are ya? Where are ya? Whatever. You know what? It's not that important. So, Shinedown, Papa Roach. Let me do it this way. There we go. Got it. I just had to remember.
Blue Ridge Festival got canceled today due to weather.
So this is what the bands did. Oliver Anthony. Thank you, Oliver Anthony. Now, this is apparently how they set it up. It's nice of them to do something like this. Regardless if they were asked to or it was someone else's idea. Thousands of people for this. For the campers that had a lot of stuff destroyed. There was other footage in TikToks that were saying it was rough. The intent was pure. Very few people could hear. It just turned into a big sing-along. All I know is what I see. As it goes on. Do I still have that up? Yeah. This is where this lawyer is going on about this.
In fact, allegedly, state troopers filled out reports that they were over capacity. I'm also very interested in the fact that...
So, this missing person apparently was found. And there's the big rumor going around again. I have no proof or deny. But they're saying there are actual reports now that it was oversold. And I don't know. I don't have the receipts. Again, I'm just trying to show you what I know. Bryson Andrews Davis, who has a big TikTok account, 200,000 followers. I talk to him every now and then. Nice guy. He left after day one. He said after waiting an obscene amount of hours and then having so much damage, he just said, screw it, I'm leaving. Never, whether it was, I don't even think it was because just hard feelings for the festival. He says, I can't do this. Wait in line Wednesday for 10 hours, then had to threaten to call the police because they wouldn't let me leave. That's pretty bad. Hey, Spocky. I'll pick you up, buddy. And people are giving all their first-hand reports, too. This little boy is glad that we're home and safe. His name is Spock. He is our little precious one. He's the one that had the health scare earlier this year, and he's doing much better. The capacity was 50K. I thought it was 40 every day. I could have been wrong about that, too. Again, I'm not trying to spread rumors. Hey, Kurt. I'm not ignoring you, buddy. Here. Everyone have a little break from all the insanity. Here's Pearl. Being a good boy. As always. There. A little bit of wholesomeness. Ugh. Yeah, Yeah, I thought it was oversold myself, but again, I don't have numbers, I don't have stats. It was basically a big sing-along, you were there. Okay, and that's what everyone else was saying too. Seemed like it. I believe that was the last one for the TikToks. Outside of my lovely wife. And the EMS slide and stuff, yeah. So. What do I think about the shenanigans and the chaos and all this and the bands and everything else? Before I get to super chats, I see them all. Again, I'll go through every single super chat. My thoughts from what I saw working. I told you some of the good. A lot of people worked way too hard, like that man Jay I talked about, to make the media side and people working on the inside do well. So much work went into those vendor stalls. The staff and security were kind to us on site, to everyone that we saw too. The weather was brutal, and it changed everything. From extreme heat to extreme torrential downpour. Yeah, that's rough. The issue I have is there was no shelter. I don't care if that's one of my favorite Rage Against the Machine songs. There's no excuse for no shelter. And what we had, Gretchen and I had, was extreme convenience and some cunning from having to leave a certain way. We are not even a slim minority. We're the outliers. I don't know if I could have done it. Waited in that heat for hours to get on a bus to wait longer to finally get in. On Friday, when they thought the wind was picking up again, they stopped the shuttles for a good 2 hours. So people that were wanting to get in still, for Slipknot, Sleep Token, whoever, they couldn't get in, period. And they were trying to be cautious about it. But when you have no contingency for extreme situations like this, it's going to lead to terrible problems. I said Friday might have been the most successful day of Blue Ridge history. Yeah, it probably was. Slipknot, Sleep Token, they were great. The bands were great. The heat was brutal again, but it went through. And I can't speak on the whole, did staff go on strike and walk out? I don't know. You'll have to ask them. I'm just trying to give all the information I can. I weep for the campers. Not whether they're glamping or just the tent in the car. You deserve so much more. And I hope you get back okay. I hope you made a lot of friends too, because it looks like a lot of people bonded through trauma. And it's fun to say that, kind of just laugh about it. That's how it is sometimes. I say this as someone who had it very fortunate. I was very privileged to be in the position I'm in. I was treated well. In fact, I was treated better than 2 years ago. I don't know what's going to happen now. We're going to find out. I'm sure there's going to be a statement. They've already posted some statements about refunds and things like that. And this is what I want everyone to hear who had questions about refunds or transfers or anything. They'll have that information. You have to give them a certain amount of time to make a response for instructions. First things first, the festival is technically still supposed to be going on as of 9:25 Eastern, September 10th. Tomorrow, Tuesday, sometime this upcoming week, we're going to get much more instructions on how people can get their refunds, whether you bought them online, whatever. Of course you bought them online. Give them the opportunity to offer their refund first before you start filing for Better Business Bureau, credit card transactions, things like that. If they have to actually have a path for you to get a refund first before you start making claims like that. They already said they're going to offer partial refunds for Thursday. I'm confident they're going to do it for Sunday. Festivals like these have insurance. I'm hoping Blue Ridge does too. Now, I want you to get your money back if you spend a lot of money on stuff like this. Wait for them to give a response. If a week goes by and no response, then you need to take action. You need to call your credit card company and say disputes. That's fair. And credit card companies made a lot of money every year disputing charges that their customers didn't get. So they'll fight for you, but you have to give them fair time to give you a path to get that refund. I also want to answer the big question that I know a lot of people are asked. Would you go again? Something my wife and I already discussed. For starters, I don't know if it'll be again next year. Looking at the shaky standing and reputation that Blue Ridge already had, whatever you want to see that as, I won't say pro or con against that, however you felt about Blue Ridge before this year, the goodwill towards Blue Ridge and the hurt feelings that have been added and all the sacrifices people made to be there, whether staff and working or attendees who spent a lot of money and time to be here, had a lot of things ruined. People don't like to revisit traumatizing places where they lose a lot of stuff. So, if somehow they find a way to fix all the problems, give the refunds that they can, fix the main problems for a possible shelter plan, and potentially find another venue, because this venue really wasn't... It's not made to hold that. It's not. This venue is not made to hold that type of event with that many people on foot. My opinion. If they found a way to fix the problems, fix the mistakes of this year, have contingency for safety, and a venue that can handle that many people, and they had my wife's favorite band ever, Ghost, headline next year, we would consider it. Those are a lot of ifs. And we had it easy. My wife and I had it so easy compared to many of you. To the people watching that were there, if I showed you TikTok, let me know in the comments. If you saw me there and I was just sweaty and losing my mind, my wife was like, "Are you dying?" Probably was, but I pulled through. A lot of you tried to stick it out as much as you could. And a lot of you decided this was not worth it. That's fine. At the same time, I don't have I cannot argue if people never want to go to this again. I can't. I have another festival I'm going to this upcoming weekend. I'm going to Chicago for Riot Fest. Very different park, very different style, and a very different city. Like, take a year or two off to build back from scratch. That's not a bad idea. I do think having this massive of an event in such a remote area is a big part of the problem. Again, this is me with my business analytic mind. I have an MBA for a reason. One of the biggest things that attendees for any event need as an appeal to go to is not just a lineup like that. You need to have it easy to get to, access, a reason to go, all that. This venue is not easy to travel to, even if you live in Virginia. People flew, people drove, people flew cross country and international to get here. And then had to drive to remote areas to either camp or get a hotel way outside of town. My wife and I's hotel was about 40 minutes away. We had it easy. I feel like the festival runners, the heads. I'm not talking about the people that were really in the thick of it, trying to make things work with everyone. Again, I applaud a lot of people. And yes, I got all the super chats. I'm going to go through every single one. Don't worry. I have them all listed right here. I promise I'm going to get through every single one. I just want to choose my words carefully. It's not a slight on the people that want to make Danville and Alton a big deal. Right now, these small remote towns that do not have the infrastructure or manpower to run events like this in full capacity as advertised is going to make things worse. And yes, I'm doing Riot Fest. I got some surprises at Riot Fest, don't you worry. Again, that's just my opinion. Could Blue Ridge be saved? The big thing is right now, before, again, my planning, my business mind, think of this as damage control. Before planning next year, fix and help the people that came this year. If they put out this week, give them till Friday. This week, if they put out their plan for issuing refunds, you won't get your money back by Friday. But if they put a plan to get your money back by Friday, the plan itself, that's going to hold a lot of people's feelings and their ill will and all these nightmares. That's going to relieve a lot of stress. A lot. And they're understanding of that too. They know they're in a situation where they have to do something. And a fair question I saw. I'm looking forward to Riot Fest too, everybody, yeah. It's the question I saw also about, would I go again? Do I think it'll be there next year? Would I recommend it? Depends on all the other hypotheticals. What was billed as the largest rock and metal festival in North America had what? That much actually happened, mostly due to weather, but there were definite other circumstances happening. The people that worked to put this together really did work a lot. I mean, I'm talking months of preparation. And a lot of those people are not full-time employees of Blue Ridge either. There's a lot of blue collar and just common people like us that are trying to make something like this big. And through Mother Nature and chaotic planning and emergencies, and then just trying to see how things work, having way too many people in a setting that is not built for it, again, my opinion, it led to disaster. Final thought, then I'm going to go through every single TikTok. If you have TikToks, or TikTok. I did TikToks. I'm tired. Super chats, I'm going to go through every single one in order that I received them. If you still have super chats coming in, if you want me to have a message you want me sent out there about your experience, drop it. Let me know in the super chats. Just let me know. I want to say this final thing. If you're planning, say Friday comes, there's still no plan on how to get your refund back, keep in mind, trying to have legal action to get your money back as an individual, taking on Blue Ridge LLC or whatever it is, will not help you. It'll cost you more in court fees and legal funds to get your money back from them, so you'd be way deeper in the hole. It's a situation where first let them see if they can make amends. Give them till Friday. They're not sleeping tonight either. Let's be honest. Give them till Friday. Then make a plan of action of how you want to do it. Whether you contact your credit card company to dispute it, probably the safest way and easiest way. Or if you want to take it more direct, that's up to you. And I do not know about NDAs for bands saying they can't talk about it. I'm pretty sure some bands have already said a couple things. Not confident about that though either. Again, without footage, without seeing it, I don't want to spread rumors. None of that. Again, we've heard some wild stuff. And some of it is true. So we're going to find out soon. My advice to everyone, okay, I got the super chats up. My advice, give it a couple days. Give it till Friday at the most before you take an action to try to get your money back. And don't threaten lawsuits. I assure you that's going to make things messier if you just try to do that on your own. Super chats. If you have one, if you want a message sent about your experience or your thoughts, drop it right now. I'm going to go through them one by one. Cinematic Sterling. Off topic, but last night I saw Danzig, Behemoth, Twin Temple, and Midnight in the Atlantic City. It was a fantastic show. Danzig was there on Friday, right before Slipknot. Apparently Danzig played for Jane Weinberg's birthday. I think it's kind of cool. Danzig took over that spot for Till Lindemann, who had to cancel because of sickness, they said. I'm sure lawsuits are coming regardless, by the way. I know, I'm just giving my advice. Give them, because also if you do contact your bank, after, like, say it's Friday, say there's still no response, if you try to contact your bank for that, like the day after, the credit card company might say, oh, okay, already? You give it till Friday, they'll say, okay, that's something. Because there's going to be already news reports, outlets online with links proving all this stuff, saying refunds. Give them evidence, but give them time also. See what they're going to do. Glad you had a good time at Danzig, Behemoth, Twin Temple at midnight. Sounds like a kid-friendly show. From Mike Murray. I remember we were at BRRF 2021. I was bummed that I didn't get to meet you there. Maybe next time. Maybe. I go to a lot of concerts. I go to a decent amount of festivals. I got another festival coming up this weekend. So. Pearl set up an attention, apparently. I think he knows now that I'm leaving for another weekend and he doesn't like it. He's showing his butt to the pet cam. Thank God I don't have that on right now. He's going to give you his thoughts on me leaving again. I know, buddy. I know. Come here. I know. Okay, before you show anything else. Goodness. From Lil Steve. Do you think we'll see more of these situations like Blue Ridge and Electric Zoo? Fair question, because these are not isolated incidents by any long shot. My opinion, now that the one Firefest guy is out of jail, he's going to try to do Firefest too. Yeah, we'll see another situation like this again. I'm not saying he's bringing it, going to make it that way. It's going to be another Blue Ridge 2024, the same thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, will we see another festival disaster? Probably. May not be this, but it just, in hindsight, they happen. We saw the bus rocking earlier, the school bus. So, from Mystic of Eris, that's a name. Seems to me like they need to start scheduling these things in the fall. Less extreme heat, less volatile storms. Gretchen, if you're listening, someone agrees with us wholeheartedly. You can't do it too late in the season because insurance won't cover for hurricane stuff. Fine, we get it. That's why they don't do Welcome to Rockville in November. I did not say Jay's last name. No. I did not say Jay's last name, I promise. I know his last name and I did not say it. I can't stress enough. Why not the first weekend of October? Austin City Limits, they've done in October. They do the New Orleans one, Voodoo Fest in October. They do festivals in October all the time. 10 degrees cooler on Thursday would have saved so many people from heat stroke. And on Friday. Right, buddy? Gretchen and I wholeheartedly agree. Try October. The best month. That's just my opinion. I know that's not just my opinion, though. I know many other people agree with you on that one. From Drumwiz. Almost heat stroke in medical tent, said to go to the hospital. Walked back and sat in the car 1.5 miles back to camp. The storm comes and hold him I and other canopies down in Hall and Lightning. Ugh. I've had heat exhaustion before it got to heat stroke. That is brutal. You have zero energy. You can't move. You just sit there and sweat. I don't get why they said, go to a hospital. They're the ones that should be getting you on a golf cart to take you to someone who can get you to a hospital. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're going to be okay. And please confirm if the medic tents were that bad. Goodness. Or I don't want to say that bad. Say that packed. Because from what I know, on Thursday at least, medic tents were packed. So. That's awful. I'm sorry. And yeah, 1.5 miles. People were saying, it could have been that far back to camp. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easy. And like, that's back to camp. The people that just shuttled in, they were way farther. That's why they had to wait on the side of the road. From Heavy Metal Joker, my friend Erica Leanne was treated well this year. She was media, but she even said she's never going back again. I kind of get it. I cannot argue anyone that says they would never do this again. I can't. I was treated great. But I know I am in a different situation. Yeah. Will bands speak up in the event you think they signed the NDA? That's where I say that from LL Lemon. I don't know. They could do. I don't know if they had to sign an NDA, especially now that the event was either canceled or over. There's going to be some contingencies for that as well. If they, I don't know what the deal is for payout. If they traveled all the way with their setup gear and then it was canceled, if they still get some kind of payout, I don't know about all that. There's also a rumor that I cannot confirm or deny about since Shutdown and Papa Roach played an acoustic set for the campers, that technically counts as a performance, so they don't have to refund for day 3. I don't know about that. I would not put stock into that until I see it. Because that sounds dirty, shady car salesman low, and I don't think they could get away with that when all eyes are on them. Oh no, Jay Weinberg. Yeah. To Courtney Thompson. No, Jay Weinberg's the drummer of Slipknot. Because it was Jay Weinberg's birthday from Slipknot. I get the understanding. Yeah, the Jay that was helping us has nothing close to a last name like Weinberg. Nothing close at all. I appreciate the concern. From Shadow's Fate, they need to bring back Carolina Rebellion. That was a real rock festival. Went in 2021 and literally saw a band walking with fans. Jonathan ran a business in Lynchburg, then closed down to run Blue Ridge Rock Fest. He lacked the business. Don't know about anything about Jonathan like running a business and closing it to run Blue Ridge. I don't know about that. I've never been to Carolina Rebellion. I thought I didn't know they had it in 2021. Shows what I know. I know they had it for many years because I covered Welcome to Rockville for 7 years in a row. I did a lot of other ones like Aftershock, a lot of the Life, a lot of the DWP ones. Carolina Rebellions was never what I did. I know I had some friends that tried to cover other stuff like Rebellion and Epicenter, and they said different things too. So, and also Trevor, who was also in the media area with us, he was the one that you saw with us taking shelter. Media was taken care of. We were truly spoiled compared to everyone else. Thankful for Jay and his team that looked after us. Yeah. I don't want people to go out of this thinking that so many had to go to medical. They were Good Tuesday. Who do Rock's logos? I have a title artist guy. Sorry. Lots more questions coming in. If you have any other super chats, drop them in now if you want me to say anything else or get anyone else's attention for this stuff. One thing I say, I'm trying to point out the good, bad, and extreme. I try to give you my thoughts. I try to show you footage of stuff without spreading rumors, without any basis. Wait until you see stuff before you actually can confirm it. Yeah. There were a lot of good people that tried to put a lot of stuff into this festival to make it better. It was, on paper and on first impression, walking into the gates with my wife this year in 2023 compared to 2021, it was night and day. You could tell they tried to really improve things from 2023 to 2021 in 2 years. On view and paper, things looked much better. It could all come crashing down, even if you don't see everything behind the scenes. I don't know how it's going to happen from here. We're going to find out again. Boy, oh boy. I'm not saying, I feel bad for this people. I feel bad for I feel bad for the campers. I feel bad for the people that got shoot out. I feel bad for the staff that had to work all overnight unexpectedly and throughout the day in extreme heat. They were working in that too. So that's dust coming up, by the way, from my lungs. Do not feel bad for me. All those people, I'm sorry it happened. I'm sorry. It's like, don't feel bad for me, guys. I am not the one you should be pointing your pity at or any of your condolences. We're safe. And we were treated much better. Here's the thing. I don't like little things, little problems that add up to big problems. The little problems can avalanche. Shadow's Fate, I just saw your donation. Thank you, but nothing came in. If you meant to send a message with that, just type it. Okay, I see it now. A lot of people do not like him, Lynchburg, VA, because he closed out a fully successful business to open Blue Ridge because he thought he knew how to run a successful rock fest. So Blue Ridge was 2021, by the way. Yeah, Blue Ridge 2020. That's when I went to. Okay. Again, one of the heads, I don't know a ton about that. It sucks if that's the case. Again, there's just, the lung dust. Yeah. lung dust. I can't. It's so cruel and hurtful to spread wild rumors about this stuff. I wanted to point out the good because there were a lot of good people that really did try to make this work. Gretchen and I were treated great by staff. There was also a lot of mistakes and problems that really caused a lot of pain. And no one can control the weather. Anyone that's saying, oh man, what are you doing booking it this weekend? Come on. The weekend before it was gorgeous. And that weather came out of nowhere. But you should have a contingency. You should have a contingency for shelter if you're forcing evacuations. That's my thing. You should be taking care of 88 people to make sure they can get shelter. Did I forget anything? Did I miss anything? Pearl just ran by me. Pearl, did I miss anything? I want the best for everyone, Blue Ridge, and the attendees. And that was my honest answer too. I don't know if it's going to happen next year. That's why I said in one of the TikToks, Friday was probably the most successful full day of Blue Ridge history, and I don't know if it's going to happen again. I don't know if people are going to want to come or give it another chance. I don't know if people are going to want to work it. That's it all for your own information. I'm glad you guys are doing okay. You're safe, that we're able to go and get back home. Also, this little boy wants you all to be safe too, and he's very thankful that so many of you took care of us to make sure we can come back home, right? Yeah. Thank you all for your time. I miss Pearl's food. No, I didn't. He got fed. Hey, buddy. What's this? Thank you all again. From R.A. Poyos, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. After experiencing Welter Rockville, Rainville 2022, and Blue Ridge was definitely worse. Certainly feel for everyone who had their weekend ruined. Yeah. I remember the cancellations in 2022 for Blue Ridge. I think it was Guns N' Roses. Yeah, the hail was bad. So, man, oh man. My lovely wife also wanted to bring in someone who's also very happy that we were safe. This is Chester, named after one Chester Bennington of Lincoln Park. He's very happy his mother is home. Do you have anything you would like to say about Blue Ridge with your experience?
With my experience?
Yes. Right to the mic.
Right to the mic. Only thing I have to add is that I am incredibly out of shape.
I'm the one that had to ask you to stop. Like, hang on, give me something. That was mostly the heat, though.
True.
And I was that's the other thing. I was carrying bags, but at the same time,
You were carrying more than I was.
After we got to a certain point, going through a lot of people, Gretchen, I would ask Gretchen to look back to make sure I wasn't lost, because like she would see me going.
It was pretty rough. That was a rough part.
Yeah. No one was in shape enough for Blue Ridge. That's a fair thing. So
I have some sculpted calves, though.
Everyone is. Everyone's going to be taking the stairs this week because they're in shape from Blue Ridge. So, anything else?
No, you covered it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not want to spread. I don't think I spread any conjecture or rumors. Mm-hmm. I wanted to make sure everything was fairly said.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's the main thing is just don't spread misinformation until something comes out about it, because that just makes things significantly worse.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, there are some things going around, but until you get like an official word, just
yeah. A fair question also that just came up, and this one doesn't have to be a super chat. For those people that bought tickets from like resale or something like that, like say you bought it from someone that bought like that, like hey, you want to buy my ticket off me? No. You might be in trouble. If it was a transferable ticket from like something like on online, because this was not through Ticketmaster, there might be an argument.
Yeah,
but if you paid under the table, like through PayPal or Venmo to buy someone off with someone,
yeah,
oh, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna be able to dispute that.
I would say hit up the person you bought it from to see if they can get a refund and get it for you.
Oh, fair. That's a good way to look at it.
And hopefully you know them, and you didn't just do it through eBay
or SeatGeek
or what Vivid Seats. That's the other one. Yeah. So
yeah.
Fair question. Yeah, so we're very grateful that we came home a day early, however, because these animals did apparently miss us.
Well, not so much. They all left.
Spock's in here.
Oh, is he?
He's behind the tower. Spock's in here. Ivan really missed us. Ivan hasn't come in yet. He's our good boy. He's our dog. Thank you all From Shadow's Fate, a proper festival should be run by a company with major experience with festivals. Carolina Rebellion became epicenter, but closed due to storms. Yeah, the storms of Epicenter 2019 were brutal. We had a friend there that said it was rough, and like people were tearing down fences to get out through their cars because it was like 1-lane roads. Yeah. You got to start somewhere, and this is a point you brought up too, and I have.
Just the difference between 2019 and 2021, because obviously 2020 didn't happen.
Yeah.
But just the difference between the lineup for 2019 and then 2021, they went from a 2-day festival to a 4-day festival. Like they didn't even try for a 3-day because they were going to try in 2020.
Right,
I looked
and now it's
up.
going to be canceled.
Yeah,
I
but
do
then
remember.
it was going to be canceled. So.
And a new venue in 2021 that turned out to be a disaster for everyone involved. It just wasn't meant to make for that. The raceway
This was somewhat flat. Kind of.
Eventually, when you were up there, not getting to it. I remember those dark hills. Anyway, that's 2021.
Yeah.
Virginia International Raceway is at least a venue made to have events. Yeah. It's not made for that type of event, though. That's just my opinion. So.
True.
It's rough. It's hard to say what's going to happen. I think I gave your viewpoint of you would only go if a certain band plays there.
Bring Ghost and Powerwolf, and then I will. Shush. It could happen. Ghost and Powerwolf, and then I will be there, with all the bells and whistles.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And someone just said the same thought we were talking about last night after we got done eating dinner at the restaurant
At
across
Mama
the hotel.
Rosa's.
At Mama Rosa's.
Mama Rosa's fed us twice.
What happened to the weekend festivals, the 2 days?
Yeah.
There were so many of those
days.
I worked in the 2010s that were perfect. You fly out Friday, you're back on Monday.
Or even 3-day. Why did we need to jump to 4-day?
3-day used to be the huge one.
Yeah.
And the 2-day weekend festivals work. They're fun. They get the just perfect amount of a break to do all that. Yeah. Someone said, I wouldn't even go for my favorite bands.
Look, if I could get Ghost and Powerwolf like together, you best believe I'm gonna put my
admittedly,
my
and
on.
I can say this. I don't think he would mind me saying this either. We were also going because I had Slipknot there, and Corey Taylor was going to do a solo show.
Oh yeah.
And we were hoping to see him. We were planning and hoping to see him on Sunday. And the fact that we got to shoot him, both my wife and I got to be photographers for Slipknot, that was a big deal for a certain song.
It was a big deal. It was so cool.
So I'm glad you got that.
Thank
You
you.
definitely got that. We both got very good photos we're proud of. I could
I also
definitely
fell in
confidently
love
say
with
that.
Sleep Token. I did not appreciate Sleep Token beforehand.
Correct.
But then seeing them live, I was like, okay, I get why people like them.
And yeah, and that's how
That was a fun experience.
That was my exact experience a year ago before Take Me Back to Eden came out. Once you see Sleep Token live, it just clicks.
Yeah.
It really does.
I was like, dang.
So that's the one you got to go out of your way to see. Then you hear it. When you see it, you're like, okay, I want to give this a chance now. Yeah. So you also got into the Ghost Inside.
I did. I never really heard any of the Ghost Inside's music before, and I really dug what they were doing. So that was kind of cool.
Good question. My wife has never met Corey Taylor in
I
person.
have not, and I almost had the opportunity.
This was the opportunity, by the way.
Son of a bee sting.
Yeah. Sorry. So there'll be other tours. There'll be other times.
Also, someone asked if we went last year. We didn't.
We did not.
We were planning a wedding.
We're still paying off a wedding. Let alone being able to go to that at the same time when I was moving and like all this other stuff. Nah, it wasn't going to happen. Yeah. It just was not impossible. I didn't know festivals last year. It was just impossible. I was getting through grad school too. Ugh, last year was bad.
We got married.
Well, I meant bad is just busy.
No.
Uh-huh. So, thank you all. Oh! This is an opinion thing. I did not see Motionless in White.
Oh.
I could not make another hill trip before Slipknot. So I rested. This brave trooper here went down with her cameras in the dark through tens of thousands of people to get to shoot Motionless in White.
It was rough.
And for those who are not photographers, whether you like motionless or not in white or not, that's fine. Motionless in white is a hard shoot for a photographer. To the point of infuriating. They love their red light and they love their darkness.
And they don't like spotlights.
No. So,
I know.
unless you're seeing them in broad daylight. So.
Also, the pit was crowded.
Photo pits for some of
crowded.
the bands were crowded because they had like family, friends, influencers, things like that. For the most part, it was kept pretty clean.
But that one was a little rough.
Motionless in White has a very everyone come into the pit that we know. It's a family.
Everyone's family.
I can't hate on that. But yeah. So, when did I graduate? Last December. Same year I got married. I finished grad school, moved across the country, and got married all within a 4-month span.
Yeah.
Graduation, marriage, and moving.
Because you moved October 1st, married November 6th, graduation December whatever.
Like first, second week of December.
Yeah.
I was busy. I'm still recouping.
I was about to say COVID at Disney.
Yeah, that was our honeymoon. That's our life story. We've had an eventful year. So, and we're just because we're coughing, it's not COVID. It's
just
festival
dust.
flu. So, thank you guys again. Yes, I see all the jokes. Motionless at nights, motionless without lights. Yes, those have been jokes for years from photographers, by the way. Okay, are we surrounded by kittens?
We are surrounded.
Oh, buddy, I'm sorry.
Don't step on Sparky. He's like, no, don't talk to me.
Tell them goodbye or anything else you would like to say, Gretchen.
Or anything else you'd like to say, Gretchen?
Oh, the dad joke. Well done.
Well, you were asking for dad jokes for, Thursday and Friday.
Boy, did I not get them. I had bands cancel on me. I won't say which band. One band canceled on me because it was too hot to do interviews anymore, and I was next. And the tour manager said, give us a message after 6. We'll see what we can do. I did. They never messaged back. So
They never messaged back. No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Polyphia was amazing good because they did the same time as Slipknot.
Yes.
Good for them for doing taking the one for the team for them. I'm glad they had an audience too because I know they did. So thank you guys. Hope you guys did. Don't end the stream. We got stuff to do. I got to do the trash run and stuff. So thank you all again. Hope you're all doing great. We're thankful that you gave us this time to one, get our thoughts out. You're fine. Get our thoughts out. Make sure you guys knew the good, the bad, the extreme. Give footage and not spread rumors. Be as angry, as bitter as you want, but wait for facts, wait for footage, wait for photos. And more's coming. We're going to find out more tomorrow and Tuesday, so yeah. Thank you guys again. Have a great night. I will do a podcast episode sometime in the middle of the week because I won't be here next weekend. Until then, have one last look at Pearl, the good boy who is sleeping. He is resting. Thank you, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're all safe. Thank you, guys.